All conversations and information exchanged during What If Nothing's Wrong podcast with Heidi Haddad, LCSW, are intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please do not confuse this with treatment, therapy, or psychotherapeutic advice or guidance. The information on these podcasts is supplemental and not meant to interfere with the therapeutic work between you and your professional therapist, counselor, or psychiatrist. Please understand that Heidi Haddad does not maintain the role of your psychotherapist, but rather offers an educated, professional perspective from that of a licensed clinical social worker.
When your anxiety is crippling and you're stuck inside your head, find your joy, find your joy. When your man won't touch you but you wanna have a baby, find your joy, find your joy. When you're walking down the street and you get punched in the face, find your joy, find your joy. When you wanna fire a bazooka at your neighbor's barking dog, find your joy, find your joy. Find your joy, find your joy.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to... Hello. Ronnie?
Hi. Hi.
He's clearly
Hello.
not part of the a cappella group that Heidi and I are planning.
Let's try it again and see if he chimes in.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Maybe you should start.
Hi.
Welcome to What If
Hey.
Nothing's Wrong, the podcast that asks the question, what if nothing's wrong?
What if?
What if? I'm Nelsie Spencer. I'm joined with Heidi L. Haddad. Hi, Heidi. What? What? I mean, okay, somebody else can start the fucking podcast.
Yeah,
then.
this is when you said her name. It sounded like so much resentment there.
Oh, it did?
Heidi L.
L.
Haddad.
That's interesting because I just heard, do you remember my name? That's what I was thinking. I heard hesitation, uncertainty.
Yeah, there was hesitation.
For a moment, I thought middle initial L. There was
Why
like
don't you
hesitated
not
about.
do L since it's so hard for you?
This is the first time it's been okay. Listeners, do you hear the meanness here? It's mean, right? All I do is introduce Heidi, and I get attacked by both of them. Okay,
Let's talk about it. Nelsie,
we're
have a question for
we're
you.
definitely going to talk about this.
Nelsie, I have a
Definitely.
question.
Yes, dear.
What if nothing's wrong?
With me, but there's stuff wrong with you guys. Obviously. No, you're right. You're right. What if nothing's wrong? I'm not even going to say cut that because I know you won't. And so anyway, hi guys. Welcome to a podcast that has a fluid name, and I'm here with Heidi and Ronnie. There, that's it. So you guys take it away.
Hey, Nelsie.
Oh, we should also
So
mention
Yeah.
last week, the kettle of peas situation. We called it kettle of peas last week.
Right. We did. Because for, about 10 minutes, that's what we were going to call it.
But it's now not that.
I loved that name, though. I don't think we did a proper salute.
We can't.
Proper send off.
No.
We can't change the name anymore.
We're not changing the name.
I'm not saying that. I'm just acknowledging that I really liked Kettle of Peas.
Heidi's in mourning a little bit about Kettle of
Let's
Peas.
call your Twitter segment of the podcast Kettle of Peas so we keep it.
There we go.
How do I do that?
They
Let's
just
keep
say
in
it.
this
So
podcast.
now,
This segment is
instead
called
of,
Kettle of Peas.
instead of last night on Twitter, we'll say, so Heidi, what's up with Kettle of Peas?
What's in your kettle of peas?
Okay. I accept.
I accept.
Right.
So let's talk about Kettle of Peas.
Okay. So my tweet, my prompt, if you will, was, what if you've been parented differently? What if your parents had gotten out of the way and made room for you? What if at every turn your parent or parents reflected the mantra, I am enough exactly as I am? How would your lens be different? Thank you, listeners. I just felt like I felt like what's the
Oh, honey, if I could help you, I would.
You're right.
She just had
Mr.
a mini
Rogers.
stroke.
Mr. Rogers. I
Rogers.
just felt like Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful name.
How would your lens be different? Boys and girls, come with
Boys
me.
It's
on.
a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Well,
So some of the responses. Well, let me check in with the two of you. How would your? Do you want me to? I'm just going to share the
Jesus.
what.
I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. Not meaning because I don't love you. I love you both, and I love doing this.
No.
No.
I misunderstood what you were saying when you went, "Oh Jesus!" At first,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying because I hadn't decided if I wanted to ask you or just read the responses. So I thought you were, "Oh Jesus," me,
No,
not your entire childhood.
I was just Jesus-ing that I think would definitely have turned out differently. My God, your parenting influences you so much. And I had two parents that both had some lovely qualities, but parenting wasn't one of their strong suits. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were both very wounded people. And so there wasn't a lot of reflecting going on. There wasn't a lot of,
presence.
there was quite a bit of neglect. My brother recently brought up the fact after he listened to my Losing It episode, where I chronicled quite a bit of things that happened in my childhood. My brother Dick remembered that our mom forgot to pick him up from kindergarten. Not once, but twice. Kindergarten.
But that's not what we heard at her memorial. No, it's not.
At her
funniest
memorial.
lady.
Oh, so funny. Life of the party.
She was so busy having a good time. She forgot to pick her child up.
Could not mother to save her life, but my God, she was funny. And she had a really great backhand and a pretty damn good serve. So
that's something. That is something.
And could make a fabulous vodka martini.
Look, Dick made it out. He moved to first grade.
He did. He made it to first grade.
Yeah.
So yes, I would have turned out differently had my parents been more mature and more capable of parenting. Ronnie, don't forget your dad listens to this.
I mean, obviously, I feel like if they did anything differently, yeah, probably. But I don't think they did anything wrong. Honestly, I have a lot of empathy towards parents in general, just because it's so hard. Like I can't imagine being a parent. Like it's a constant job. It's so hard for like your vulnerabilities to always be hidden from your kids, 24/7. Like,
why do you have to hide your vulnerabilities?
Well, sometimes maybe because sometimes you have to be like that superhero for your kid. You're always, let's say you have like a 4-year-old kid, and it's hard to be vulnerable in front of them, show them that your mistakes sometimes, like maybe you could be wrong, or you are human, because your kid looks up to you, and that's like you know what I mean? Like it's hard to be like that 24/7. I just feel that way.
Put on a facade of perfectionism for your child.
Yeah, yes, I just feel like
that would be very difficult.
Yeah,
who does that?
That's what I'm saying. It's almost impossible to do that. Yeah,
I don't know who tries.
I'm sure people try, like, to keep a straight face, like, especially like if you're a parent going through something difficult, and your kid is looking up to you for guidance. It's hard.
Yeah. Heidi's shaking her head with a knowing look. What are you thinking about that, Heidi?
Keeping a grain of salt, because in the world that I'm in, I'm not seeing the people that are doing it as well as you're describing, Ronnie. So,
oh no, I didn't. That's what I mean.
But in my line of work, and having worked with a lot of divorced or separated parents, or just struggling parents, or even not struggling parents, or not that they're not struggling, but even if there isn't a trauma that's happening, they more often than not, they are not. There are two different things that are happening inside of me. They're either not talking directly to their children and having an open conversation about whatever it is that needs to be discussed, or contrarily, they're hiding things from their kid, which isn't serving them, which is, I guess that's not even a contrary. That's exactly the same thing. But I was thinking about what you just said, Ronnie, about parents putting on a face and so their kids don't know that they're upset. So I'm thinking about divorcing parents or separating parents, and they want to make sure that their kid is safe. Most of them are talking to their kids or expressing what's going on in front of their kids or around their kids, whether it's to their kid or not. And their kid is all up in the conflict, whether they mean to do it or not, but that there isn't actually a mindfulness to remove themselves from it. And often I'm suggesting or encouraging the parent to talk to someone else about what's going on and not bring it home, not bring it home, but do what you're suggesting. What you're suggesting doesn't happen as often as it should, but it's also a balance. I speak very openly to my kid, and he's a kid, and I say, if I snap at him or something, I'll apologize and say, I'm sorry I snapped at you. I'm exhausted today, or I feel stressed about XYZ, or I'm trying to figure out where we're going right now, and I'm feeling stressed about figuring it out because of our time schedule. And he said, okay.
Yeah. I was picturing more of like, let's say you're a parent. Let's say you're a single parent. And you're going through some like struggles financially, like let's say like, oh, the pandemic happened and you lost your job, and you have to keep that, you have that kid, and you have to keep that straight face because you're the reason they're alive and stuff. You can't just go to your kid and be like, look, I don't know what we're gonna do, I think we're screwed. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Like,
we're
do you
not
have any
gonna
ideas?
make it.
You know what I mean? Like,
pack your bags, we gotta live in Port Authority.
Yeah. Your kid's just gonna be like, oh, okay, I can't, this is not the person that's gonna help me through this.
Okay, so I guess I would say in response to that there is a delicate balance between being real with your kid and burdening your kid.
Yeah.
And if you are real with your kid and say, I mean, first of all, I don't know depending on the situation, using your example that a single parent who is struggling financially lost her job, or his or her job, their job, and it might show up in, hey, parent, can I have the new cha-cha-cha, whatever they're asking for, and the parent can't afford it. And so maybe that's I hear you really want that, but right now we're struggling, or I'm struggling, and I cannot buy that for you. And you can say that directly versus, I don't know what we're going to do. The world is going
versus, don't ask me for stuff. There's a pandemic, for God's sake.
We've got nothing.
You can't have a new.
We have nothing.
How did you lose your iPhone? God damn it. Right? Don't do that.
Right. You got a level where you could like, I don't know what we're going to do, man. I think we're screwed.
We are fucked. I look back because we had financial challenges when our kids were in elementary school and high school. And I think back on how much I wanted to keep everything from them. And even though I was quote unquote keeping things from them, and that I wasn't saying, I don't know how we're going to pay your tuition, or we didn't pay the rent this month. Even though I didn't tell them anything, I was fucking vibrating with fear and anxiety. And I look back and wish I could have said, guys, things are tight financially, versus like, we're fine. Like, I look back and go, I might not have told them anything, but I was absolutely broadcasting fear and anxiety to them. And I wish I could have done it a little differently, because kids are you don't want to say, oh, I don't know what we're going to do, but to act like nothing's wrong when they absolutely know some shit is wrong.
But they don't understand what.
Exactly.
And how it comes out, which is why I use that example about snapping at mine, because I'm trying to figure out directions to something, and I'm aware of the time, and I'm stressed, and he's saying, can I do this? Can I do that? And I'm like, stop talking for 2 seconds. I just need to figure this out. And I snap at him. We all know it has nothing to do with him. He's being his normal 6-year-old self, but I am feeling frustrated because I am needing 2 minutes to organize myself. And this is a small example compared to struggling financially, but I'm just saying that same thing as your vibrating anxiety. you've got to be acting it out on them in some way besides just vibrating it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And so it's acknowledging that to your kids and say, I am feeling overwhelmed. And you're also teaching and modeling how to communicate how you're feeling and that something's going on. I am overwhelmed. I overheard my 6-year-old say to the dog the other day, why were you barking? Talk about it. Tell me what to do.
Let's talk about it.
He wasn't crying. It was just he got down on the floor and he said, tell me what was going on. Why were you barking?
The dog's like, I don't know, man. I just had a lot on my mind today.
I went out. I couldn't figure out which bush to pee on.
I heard a noise.
Choices.
I got freaked out. I had to bark, 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 bark.
I don't know why I do it, honestly.
Somebody could have been coming to get us.
I saw that guy who opens that little box next to the street, and he does it every day. Why does he do it?
And then that truck, the one that says Amazon on the side, Prime, came again for the 14th time today.
And throwing things on the porch, and oh my God.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking.
Right.
Thanks for asking.
Leon, thanks for asking.
Really good.
It feels so good to get that off
Nobody
my
ever
chest.
asks me. That's why I get so freaked out.
Excuse me, I'm going to go back to licking my butthole, but thanks, Leon.
Feel good.
I
did say to my kid, that was a very nice conversation you had there. It's a really lovely way to check in with the dog there. Whatever.
Oh God. So that's a fruitful, that question brings up a lot.
It bore some fruit. It did.
Bore some fruit. And did you get good responses on
Yeah, I'm looking to see what some people said.
What was in the kettle of peas?
What's in the kettle of peas?
Somebody actually said, I got that my whole life, and that being the reflection of I am enough exactly as I am. And the person wrote, I got that my whole life. I'm forever grateful.
Oh,
I know. And there are people like that,
God.
like Ronnie, and like that.
Yeah.
Ronnie, did you write that?
Was it me? I don't think that was me.
If you were me, you might have spit that out. Somebody wrote, parents who picked bad step parents who didn't want to parent. And that was another hot topic, which is I think, Ronnie, you don't have this experience, but I think, right?
No.
So, yeah, but just people who have bad step parents or even if whether married or not, I shouldn't say bad. Let's use a different word. But parents as this person wrote, they didn't want to parent. And so they suddenly are responsible or partially responsible. It's just complicated. Blended families are very complicated. Maybe that should be a whole other podcast one day, actually.
Absolutely.
Families.
Jackie Cation, who I just interviewed on Losing It, and it'll probably come out, I don't know if it'll come out after or before this, but
16th.
Oh, so it'll come out
very specifically.
Will it come out after or before, Ronnie?
After.
I can't do. Okay. Her dad married her stepmom, and not until after they were married did he tell his new wife that he had 6 kids.
How did he hide them? Were they adults?
They were in another state. They were in another state being taken care of by somebody else. No, they were not adults.
Wow.
They were not. And the stepmother carried that load. Like she came in and, didn't do it perfectly, but gave the kids it's a really good episode. Gave the kids a lot of things that they needed. So yeah, my stepdad, he wanted to parent, and I didn't want him to parent me. It's like, I never even called him my stepdad. I just always called him my mother's second husband because
so long.
Yeah. But it's like, I never, I was so angry and you're not why would I use the title dad to describe you? You're just the guy that my mom married. That really was my attitude. I mean, as many of you know more about my father, why I was so protective of the word dad, I don't know, but I was. And he came into an impossible situation. And it's very hard to be a step parent, right? I mean,
I think it's very hard to blend a family without a whole level of consciousness around it,
yeah,
where there's an awareness of what it's like to bring those kids together, if there are other kids on the other side of the family, and especially where they are in their the lineup, so
Yeah.
to speak. If you were the firstborn and now you're third down or something to that effect, and how that
right.
affects.
Suddenly your birth order changes. Suddenly the
Correct.
hierarchy in the family is shifting all around.
Thank you for a better articulation of that once again, Nelsie.
You're welcome.
And
That'll be $10, please.
and, or if this just step parent has no idea how to parent or comes in really strict and changes the whole dynamic, and the kid there's so many different nuances of a step parent comes in and the kid feels left out, and that the original parent, the OG, isn't protecting the kid or kids, and the new parent is tough,
or the parent, like you said, the parent's focus shifts from the kids to their new partner, and having a partner is what their focus is now, not necessarily parenting. So yeah, it's dicey. It's dicey.
Yeah. So if there's a way for the parents to really show up in how do we do this? I have people who reach out to me to say, we need help. We're blending families. How do we do this? And the best case scenario is that all the people involved, the adults involved, are trying to figure it out and work together. And oftentimes that is not the situation. There's resentment. The parents get divorced. One parent's not happy that the other one has a new partner, or they're both not happy about the other's partner. I mean, it's really petty and childish. The other thing that I want to say that I offered within this thing.
Within this kettle of peas? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, within this kettle of peas. Thanks again, Nelsie. You must be a writer or something. Is that how much we have a need for education? That should, in my opinion, this would be my platform if I was running for some office that made a difference, is how do we incorporate communication, and communication being the big one, putting communication as a class in and of itself, starting from even second grade, something like that. And every year you have some other level of communication / practicing communication / interpersonal relationships, friendships, marriages, just how to engage with other people in a conscious, thoughtful, communicative, taking responsibility for your own stuff kind of way.
Yeah.
And if we were all taught that by the time we became parents, we would have tools. Right now, the only way a person has a tool is if they happen to come from parents that had that version of communication, or were able to talk about things or share or any of that. Instead, we have a lot of people who are ill-equipped becoming parents, and and without a license, right? We should have licenses for this stuff. Pass some tests, do something.
Yeah, no. All you need is a sperm and an egg, and a womb that works, and then you're a parent.
And then you're in therapy with me. And that's all we have time for. Thank you very much.
We'll pick up here next week. One of the things that you say again and again and again, Heidi, which I really like, and I do think we need merch, is communicate, communicate, communicate. And which is important, and knowing how to do it.
Right.
I mean,
That's the big piece, right?
Yeah, because I say when I teach a class and people are giving feedback on somebody's writing, right? I always say give feedback in a way that the person can hear it, because you're very when you're a writer and you've shared your writing, you're very vulnerable. But just in life, if you want to tell somebody something, can you tell it to them in a way where they can hear it? Be smart about what language you use. I thought you acted like a fucking idiot last night at the party. It's embarrassing. Like,
I've said that a lot.
Who says that?
I say that a lot.
People say that to you?
It goes both ways.
You know, also the people that don't talk about things at all, that are afraid to say something. They're afraid
Yeah.
to upset someone. They're afraid that they're going to be they're going to be not liked. That there's so much fear behind before they even decide to communicate. We talked about this in that millennial one, but also I think we did, maybe not. But I'm always, when you watch a show and everyone's keeping the secrets, like they're pregnant, but they're not telling their partner that they're pregnant, or they killed someone, but they're not telling anyone they killed someone, or
And
it seems like
as
an
an aside,
extreme thing there.
right. But there are things, or they're
I
just
think you can keep the kill someone thing. Just go ahead and keep that to yourself.
You'd probably keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
You could probably give that to yourself. And I watch these shows saying, why aren't you talking? First of all, how are you even keeping it a secret? I wouldn't be able to control myself. I'd have to be telling somebody, I lost my job, I'm pregnant. Somebody would know something.
I killed the neighbor. Okay.
Right.
It was me.
Don't tell anyone, but I need you to, I can't hold it. I need to express it. So thank you for listening. Somebody would know, but in these shows, it's like these people are somehow able to hold it all in and not share it with anyone. And I kind of call bullshit on that. But more than that, I'm now realizing that maybe it's not, that the people are really capable of holding this stuff and not talking about it. I don't know what to do about my partner. He or she is doing XYZ. Well, have you talked to them about it?
I know. I love that. I love that.
No.
Where that's such a simple question that I feel like you ask your clients a lot, Heidi, where that this is upsetting or that. Well, have you talked to them about it? But that them not saying anything speaks to how scary that is for them, right? No, I can't talk to them about it, right? That's too scary.
Yes, it
Where's
speaks
Ronnie
to the
going?
fear, but also I find that I'm not hearing them say, yeah, I know that's probably a good idea, but I'm not ready. That's not what's coming out. What's coming out is, talk to them?
What madness.
This is insane. I've never heard of such a thing.
Communicate how I really feel?
What? Or ask a question if they want to go to dinner? What? All we do is eat at home. Well, have you told them that you like to eat out?
Something as simple as that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
Wow.
But to your point, it's fear. It's not wanting to upset the cart. There's so much fear of getting people upset. And how often I hear the words, well, I'm just not confrontational. I can't. And I said, it's not confrontation, it's communication.
Yeah.
And that people think that the two are the same. By the way, what was this? Who made that choice?
I saw that immediately.
Heidi made a bold choice with the fingernails. Like she went red, but then just the ring finger is a gold, correct?
Gold sparkle. Gold sparkle, actually, my son chose. But
a couple weeks ago, you didn't have that.
What?
A couple of weeks ago, it was just an empty
vessel.
Yeah, but the rest were red, and now it's gold.
Yeah.
It's like
no, that's not
gold.
true.
This
was something else
gold.
last time. It just wasn't maybe as obvious.
Oh, okay.
But and then my toes are the same red with silver sparkle. Did not realize that until I got home, and then I went, "Oh, that was a." Truth is, I don't really care at all.
I'm really glad we went on this tributary, though, because I think let's talk a little bit about nail color and nail color choice and what that reveals about a person. And
I bet it does,
how they were
Nelsie.
parented. How they were parented. Let's talk about that.
I had an ex-girlfriend, and she used to do nail art.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Really?
She used to do nail art, and it was to avoid the confrontation with her father about her having him having a secret family overseas. Yeah. So she got really good at nail art.
You're not even kidding.
I'm not even kidding.
Can you make the connection there at all?
It kept her busy.
Right. So if I'm very busy
Did she work at a salon?
drawing a tropical setting on a nail, I don't have to think about the fact that my father has a second family.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
That's a big secret.
Yeah, so I think it does say something about you. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're really good at nails, you probably have some issues in your life. Maybe.
So I'm perfect. I'm perfectly balanced is what we're learning.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
do we?
Oh, and the
feel
last
that we-
thing that I want to
Go
say, I'm
ahead,
sorry,
go.
is other people put in there, and this is tragic, is how many parents had said to them, "You were a mistake, and I didn't want you."
Yeah, that's never good.
What?
That's probably never good.
Oh. But how? I mean, come on.
Just being honest. Just being honest.
Yeah. Hey.
You are, yeah.
Look, I didn't
You
even
were
really
a
want you.
mistake, and I never wanted you. Like,
I'm not just
I wanna-
one person. Multiple people wrote
Wow.
variations of that.
wow.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm also
shocked.
saddened.
It's so sad.
Saddened by
So sad.
the impact.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm, my second son, was not planned, but he was completely wanted. You know, like not for us, just like delicious.
Malcolm's in the background going, bullshit.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know, I was nursing Raina, and you know this whole idea that if you're doing
And all of a
full
sudden
time
it was like,
nursing, you
"Whoop,
can't get,
up,
you
I
can't get,
just a
you
baby."
you can't get pregnant. Turns out you can. Yeah, I was. She was 11 months old, and I was like, oh, and yeah, but you know, he's you know, delish and wonderful and so lucky. Wouldn't have had it any other way.
I won't
So, yeah.
lie that this is what's going on in my head. You ready?
But yeah, I'm ready.
If I could turn back time through the whole episode,
Okay.
that's what's happening.
I thought that boat.
When
Thought
are
we
we
were
going to
past
get
that? We
Cher
are
on the
not.
show?
Oh, okay.
When are we going to get Cher on the show? That's what I want to know.
I tried.
I'll call her.
Yeah.
I will
Heidi
call
will
her.
call her. So we have a guest today, and our guest is one of my favorite people on the planet, and he is also, he doesn't call himself a life coach, so I'll let him use the language that he does, but he happens to also be my brother. And so, Cardi, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
So how do you describe yourself with your clients, Cart?
I'm just a person who's here to help you.
Is that what it says on your business card? And can you help people with their Ethernet cables?
No, I call myself a spiritual mentor, which is still not my favorite description, because everyone thinks of spirit as kind of like the non-physical, and I really work holistically, mind, body, spirit, all those things. But I don't like life coach. It just, I don't know. I'm just a person who's here to help you.
I think we're going to rename the podcast to that. Yeah. We just want to help you.
We just want to help you. We walk up to people strangers on the street, and we say, "How can we help you?" But part of the reason
my aunt asked the other day, last night, in asking about this podcast, if it was helpful. Say, does it help? I said, I don't. You got to listen. You let me know.
Yeah, you let me know. You let me
help you.
Yeah, it helps us. I mean, it tickles the hell out of us. Yeah. But part of the reason we're having Cardi on today is because we renamed the podcast "What If Nothing's Wrong?" And I got that saying from Cardi. And Cardi, where did you get it? Or did you make it up?
I made it up. I made it up just because it seemed like a good conglomeration of so much of the spiritual teachings I've had. Because, I very early on, I realized that, when the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every care I've ever had. Call me a cockeyed optimist, but that's just me.
That's totally what we call you. That's so funny.
I was going to introduce him as the cockeyed optimist. Yeah.
I thought he said clock-eyed. I like cockeyed.
No, it's a lot of the spiritual teachings. It comes from the Buddhism, non-resistance and acceptance. Byron Katie has a book called Loving What Is, which is all about just switching our mental view of the world and rather than focus on being problem solvers, because that's what we're so programmed to be, right? We come into the world kind of these open, pure, beings that are just really accepting everything. We're on this adventure. I mean, whenever you spend time with a baby, you see that they're just these wide open, accepting kind of loving things. And then we sort of say, no, no, no. Life is not safe. You've got to figure out who you are. You're not whole and complete as you are. You've got to prove yourself here, and you've got to make sure you do it right. God forbid you end up in the wrong place or do the wrong thing. And so we're constantly projecting right and wrong out onto the world, which is really not what the world is. The world is basically neutral, waiting for us to put out our energy and then let it come back. So if we choose, what if nothing's wrong? What if this is just what's there and it's my belief or decision about it that creates the problems?
Right, and creates a point of view about it, right?
Well, and it activates the fixer, the problem solver. And if we think of ourselves as a fixer or a problem solver, then that's what's going to show up. Life's going to be the problem we have to fix, or I'm going to be the problem I have to fix. And that's a lot, how people come at the world. They're always looking for this thing that they have to fix or get right, and then they can find that place of happiness or feeling complete or whole.
I think that Cardi just summed up like 5 or 6, maybe 8 of our episodes.
Yeah. I agree. Totally.
And touched on every point we've talked about ever.
Absolutely.
Where do you think that comes from, Cardi?
Good question, because one of the things I've developed in working with lots of people over the years and having a layperson's understanding of certain aspects of astrology, I've looked at the Saturn cycles, because Saturn is a big planet in our solar system that has almost a 29-year orbit. And according to a lot of astrologers that I've worked with, it initiates different cycles. How many of you have heard the term, you're at your Saturn return? And there's always like ooh, look out, it's a Saturn return. Well,
or something is in retrograde, right? What's something?
That's different.
Story, Nelsie.
That's Mercury.
Come on.
That's Mercury.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Which has a really weird orbit. And so lots of times it's in retrograde, and it does affect us, but I haven't really focused on that. What's come up for me in working with people so much is, and looking at my own life, the recognition that there's shifts that happen in kind of our worldview with these Saturn returns. Since they're big, long cycles, it's kind of a big worldview that shifts. Our first Saturn return is a problem solver cycle. We come in with this pure energy, innocent, open, ready to share what's in here with the world. And then we bump up against collective consciousness, because we, to be able to be here and play the game, we got to know what the rules are. We got to know what's going on. And for the past 10,000 years, we've been in this patriarchal yin yang, me against the world energy, trying to figure it out. So we have been problem solvers. So that's what we come in. We come in with this pure energy. And then the first thing we learn is, no, you've got to learn what the world is. You've got to figure out who you are and what the rules are and how you need to prove yourself. And so this first 28 years or 29 years is, how do I fit my core energy into the world, and kind of how do I survive? Because there's a lot of hoops we have to jump through. And then as Saturn comes around, if people look at their lives, usually there's big life changes, big switches around 28, 29. People get married, they start a new job, they move to a different city. They're listening to that inner energy of Saturn that's saying, okay, you've taken on your public personality, or what I call your karmic personality. Now you're here. You're still, if we've made it to 28, 29 and we're still alive, we've successfully completed that cycle. Now it's time to move from the problem solver to the adventurer. The problem solver needs to know.
Now, Cart, stop. Let me ask you for a question. Are these cycles, did you make up? And I don't use the word make up in a light way or to lessen it, but did you come up with problem solver and then adventurer, or is that something that you've gleaned from ancient teachings or something? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. This is my theory based on working with people and understanding a lot of spiritual concepts and kind of seeing, because you can work with people. If I work with people, it's interesting too, because I feel we're evolving and we're kind of in the big picture of the long journey of humanity. We've moved from a 10,000 year karmic cycle into what I call a more creative, or I call it the divine feminine, the 10,000 year cycle that we just moved through as of 2012. All that stuff was about the 2012 calendar. There's a big shift. We move from
the feminine is coming in.
Yeah, the feminine is coming in, which is about trusting life, which is about being. Partly the reason I believe that is that the scientists, the problem solvers of our society, as of the last, 50 years or so, came into agreement with the great mystics. The quantum scientists tell us that there's nothing out there but a projection of consciousness. There's really no solid things. If they look at tiny particles,
right, everything's
just there.
Right.
It's all energy. And consciousness, what we think about it affects it. That's what the scientists are now telling us. And so what they're really agreeing with is what the great mystics have always told us, that we create our own reality through our consciousness, through our belief, and we're all connected. That whole patriarchal system is why you've seen so many wars, and what's happening now with the Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement. We're seeing how part of what we've been programmed to do in the problem solvers is, where do I fit in the pecking order? There's all these ways that we judge each other based on worth, based on how much money we have, based on race, based on sex. And we're moving beyond that now, because we're seeing that we're connected. I don't know if that answered your question. I may have gone off on a tangent.
I don't know either, but I agree with you.
Checks out with me.
I don't even know who asked the question.
I don't even know who I am at this point.
I'm just a lot of energy. All
right. So,
Okay.
Ronnie, what's our game, baby?
So this game, it's basically, I have this list of words.
Wait,
and
can
these-
I'm sorry,
yeah.
can I interrupt you for 1 second just to say thank you to Cardi for coming
yeah.
on?
Oh,
Thank you.
Cardi.
Very much.
Yes.
For having
You
me.
do
It seemed
Yeah.
like a very abrupt
Thank you.
thing. Thank you.
I
We're
know.
so happy you're here. Thank you for sharing your title what has become the title words with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so much so. And we invoke it all the time. And yeah.
And like I
love
said
you
before,
madly.
everything that you said it just rounds out and punctuates all of which we have done already.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
true.
And that's why I love working with therapists, because they have a tendency either to really get it, or else sometimes I work with therapists who are like, no, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, well,
But usually therapists
I
like,
came out as a therapist in San Francisco, so I'm
there you go.
I'm in your page. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
Ronnie.
I have these lists of words. All right. And these lists of words, these are millennial slang words.
Uh-oh.
And so the way we're going to do it is you guys are going to guess the definition of the word. And we're going to do it. So I figured,
Are we going it for real, or we're coming up with some cockamamie response?
if you don't know what it is, you have to give a definition.
You have to guess.
Okay.
You have to
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
So the way we're going to do it is that we're going to go one by one, and then we'll change the first person. We'll rotate the first person every word.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds good.
And I have my notepad because there will be a winner.
Whoa! What's the prize? What's the prize?
Yeah. What's the prize? If there's a winner.
Surprise! My
You get-
acceptance and approval.
That does say something. Sadly, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
All right. So
Then I want that to be the clip, and I'm going to show it to all my young clients who think
exactly,
I'm old.
you can
hag.
use this. You can take this home. So we'll go Nelsie, Cardi, and then Heidi for this first word. The first word.
But wait,
Yeah. go
what
ahead.
if Nelsie gets it right?
Well,
and I know the answer also?
I will reveal the answer at the end of the three people.
Okay.
Right. So right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So the first word is yeet. All right, Nelsie.
It's a verb.
Can you please spell it?
Yes. Again, it's a YEET. Yeet.
Yeet. Oh, okay. I was going to say I had a different spelling in my mind, but
Me too.
I'm going to stick with that. It's a verb, and it means to eat yams.
Okay. All right. Cardi, what do you think?
Yeet, it describes the chemical process of yeast rising in the oven with the heat. Yeet.
Interesting.
Yeet.
Yeah. Good. Heidi?
Eat. It's like
Gotta think of some.
It's an exclamation. Let's say like that's so yeet.
What does it mean?
None of you guys got that.
Hey, I thought we were all pretty close. I thought there was.
You know what, Heidi, you were probably the closest one until you used it as a sentence. It's something you yell when you throw something into a crowd. So there was a vine. There's a vine. This kid at high school had an empty can of Coke, and she goes, "This shit empty, yeet." And then threw the can, and then it became a viral.
And it became a thing?
Yeah, it became a thing, and we've been saying it for 10 years. So
okay.
So none of you guys
That's
got
like
that.
fleek.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
Use fleek.
Oh, okay. I don't have that. That's old, so we don't have that.
Well, that one is too 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I've managed to not hear the word yeet for 10 years because I've never been in a crowd where people are throwing things.
I have. Still have never heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
They're dumb. Oh,
Cardi,
I'm sorry.
Cardi, you're first, and then Heidi, and then Nelsie for this next round. So the word is sus.
Sus. Sus is to to search through things and find something, like to suss something out.
All right.
I don't know why you're laughing. That's actually what it means.
Suss something. Okay. Heidi?
I was going to use the word explore.
Explore?
Or Susana from Outlander. Those are your two options.
All right.
But I'm going to go with explore.
Explore. All right. Yeah. Nelsie?
Yeah, to suss, to check something out. That's mine.
All you were wrong.
Are we or are you?
This is so sus means suspicious or suspect. And usually use it if used in a sentence, it'd be this shit is sus. All right. So you guys
I think
that really clarifies.
Do we think that though that sometimes these words that Ronnie is offering
these are
need
slang.
to be used
this is
in
slang,
a sentence?
This is the slang version. Yes, I can't do that because it'll give too much away. It'll give too much away.
But the last one you could have used without using the saying shit. And maybe that would really throw us off.
But people say that.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the point of this, you know what? Forget it. Just continue.
People say that.
It's his game.
I know.
It's his game.
Whatever.
Let him do.
My rules. All right. So Heidi, you go first, then Nelsie, and then Cardi for this next word. And okay, all right. So
the word is
lit.
L-I-T?
Yeah, Heidi.
Happening. Like shit is going off. It is lit. This party is lit.
Okay.
It's like, it's awesome party. It's popping, hopping.
All right. Nelsie?
Means you're really fucked up. You're lit really high.
Oh, that's not a bad one. I'll take it.
Okay. Cardi?
I would agree with Nelsie, but add that you're really high on like crystal meth. You're tweaking.
That's really specific.
It's a very specific. You're not just high, but you are.
You are lit.
All right. So you guys all got that correct. So it is both meanings. This party's lit and I'm lit as hell.
Yeah.
That's how I use that word.
We are not as excited as you are. We didn't even win. Nobody won that. It's all still like a zero.
True. Y'all won something, a point. Anyway, Nelsie, you go first, then Cardi, then Heidi for this next word. And the word is bay.
Bay.
Nelsie.
Bay is also a verb, and it has to do with how breasts bounce in slow motion on the show Baywatch.
How do you use it? How would you use it in a sentence?
Man, did you see her breasts? They are bay.
All right. Sure. Cardi.
He's channeling something. He's really
It's getting deep.
It's someone who's experimenting with being gay, but they're only going to go halfway, so they're bi. They're like gay.
That's a good guess.
Are you gay? Are you bi?
Interesting.
I'm gay.
They're not that committal. They're just going to get a taste.
On the fence. All right, Heidi. Seemed pretty excited when I said the word.
I know, but now I'm questioning myself, I'll be honest. But I think that it could mean like a form of endearment. Like, this is my bae, like kind of babe-ish in that way. Or
Like my boo, right?
kind of. I'm going with that one as option. And 2 is hot. Sexy.
Okay. All right. You get that one. Those are both of those definitions are correct. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even slang dictionary. Thank you.
Yeah. My girl is bae, and bae is hitting me up on the phone. Those are the 2 ways you would use that word. All right. So for this next round,
She's going to be unbearable now.
Yeah.
Unbearable.
so Nelsie has 1, Cardi has 1, and Heidi has 2. So for this next round, Cardi will go first, then Heidi, then Nelsie, right? Is that what? Okay. Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I trust you.
So the word is simp.
And who's
Cardi
first?
goes first.
Cardi.
Okay.
Simp. It's a simpleton. It's someone who's just kind of stupid or dumb who just doesn't catch on.
Okay. All right. Heidi.
Could it be basic?
Okay. I can't answer that right now, but okay.
No,
That's your
yeah,
guess.
that's my guess.
All right. Nelsie.
It's
Like-
easy. It's easy. It's simp. It's simp.
Oh, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's what the definition is? Okay, you're all wrong. It's it means
Are we?
yeah.
Someone who has a tendency to show up on The Simpsons, or someone who likes
No.
Good one, Cardi.
A simp, it's a noun.
Oh.
Or
Obviously.
simping is
One with a
it's
limp.
used in streaming. If you watch video game streaming, for the audience of a girl streamer who is basically giving it's a bunch of guys giving this one girl a bunch of affection and compliments through the internet. So you're simping, and using a sentence, dude, don't be a fucking simp.
Okay. Got
Really?
it.
You say, oh, okay. I felt like his whole beginning was one thing, and then his example was something different.
Don't be
No,
a fucking
because-
simp, because it's derogatory.
Right.
No one wants to be a simp.
Yeah, but the way that you
if you're the
described it
one
was
that's
all.
if you're the one who's being all
Simplify.
complimentary to some girl, then you're being a simp. But what you're doing is you're simping her, right?
You're simping her. Yes, exactly.
As in, you're complimenting her.
Because she
Yes.
is a simptress.
Simptress, exactly.
Yeah, basically, that's what that is. All right. So,
So
none
the
of you guys got that.
simptress gets the simps
Yes.
could they simp her
Yes.
because they are simps.
Yes.
Simps
Yes.
simp her,
Mm-mm.
simp the simptress.
Simpers,
Yes.
simping, simptress.
Awesome. You guys are catching on. All right. So for the next one,
Good.
Heidi goes first, Nelsie, and then Cardi. And the word is cap. Heidi.
Can you spell it, please?
C-A-P, cap.
What is it?
C-A-P,
Oh,
cap.
CAP, as in
Yeah.
what you wear on your head, but that's not like what you're wearing on your head.
I don't know.
Correct. Cap. Bullet.
Is that you? It's your guess. That's your guess.
Wait. What is the kill to kill?
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Nelsie.
I probably don't go.
Cap is talking about is like a derogatory term for a rich white guy because he's a capitalist. He's a fucking cap.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Fucking cap.
All right. Cardi.
A cap is a blowhard who never really makes a point or doesn't really have any power. Like a cap gun, it's a big bang, but there's no real.
Oh,
No
also
real
good.
I like all of ours. I think ours are really good.
Hey, you're all wrong. So cap is to lie. So if you're capping, you're lying. And if you say something and someone thinks that you're lying, you go, no cap, bro.
I just
Okay.
would like to know who's using these words.
A lot of people are using these words.
Where?
Us.
Where are they using it?
I like our definitions better.
It's so like our definition,
Hold on.
but I'm with you. And I would like to know. I mean, I don't hear people in everyday language.
I hear
say,
these
"Don't
words
cap.
used every day.
Don't cap.
No
I don't
cap,
want to
bro.
hear from you
No
if you're going to
cap,
cap.
bro.
Stop capping, bro.
I cannot wait to use that though. I cannot wait to
You
just
should use that with your clients.
to one of my,
You're capping, bro.
One of my 40-year-old clients. No cap, bro.
I'm going to do it to my kid when he's playing a game and he's does something happens. I'm going to say, "You capping?"
You capping right now? You capping, fam? All right. So, it's not looking good, guys. I'm
This
not gonna
has to
lie.
be the last one. I hate to
Okay.
say it.
Sure. All right, this one. All right, you guys might this might come around, but
Okay.
So I forget who goes first, but I think it's Heidi
I think
now.
it's Nelsie.
Okay, Nelsie.
who
Sure, we'll go with Nelsie.
Didn't I go first with the cap?
Yeah, it's Nelsie.
I think so. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Nelsie. Nelsie, you go first, then Cardi, then Heidi. And the word is
And the word is
drip.
drip.
Yeah.
Hmm.
DRIP.
Yes.
Well,
We're going to be
back in
wrong.
the day when I was growing up, a drip was somebody who was a drag and a boring person. But let's see how
Still is.
how the millennials might use it. I don't fucking know.
Hardy, you look like you're working real hard. I can smoke's coming out of your ears.
Drip. Well, somebody who's so high that they're drooling. It's like he's dripping, man. That's what I'm going with. If he's drip, he's like way high. Like he might have to be hospitalized.
All right. All right, Cardi.
Someone who's very moist or dewy, or someone named Dewey.
Who should have been named Drip.
Yeah. Could you use it in a sentence? How would you use it in a sentence?
Oh, I'm feeling very drip today.
That's something you would say.
Moist and dewy today.
All right. All right, Heidi.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can get that out of my head.
Moist, dewy.
Is it related to sex?
I can't answer that.
You can't answer that.
So the question is, are you dripping?
You're not answering the question. You're not defining the word. You gotta
Okay,
define the
drip.
word.
Okay, fine. Drip is, I don't know. All I can think of is like a drippy penis. I'll just say there. I said it. Okay.
Heidi, you're right. No, I'm just kidding. You're not right. So drip is your outfit. It's your drip. And then used in a sentence, my drip is fuego. Right?
Did you
So-
really just say that?
Your
My
drip
drip
is-
is fuego.
Yeah, that's how it's used. So
My
it's like,
drip is
it's not
moist
even-
and dewy.
Cardi's is
yeah. The drip is
My
like
drip
a
is
really nice
dewy.
outfit. It's like, oh, we got fire drip right now, bruh. You know what I'm
It-
saying?
it's
I'm-
like if you go to a Diana Ross concert, you can say, "Wow, she was really dripping."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I
Can
don't,
you?
Can you say dripping? Can you use it with an ing?
I-N,
I think
I-N
that's,
apostrophe.
I-N, yeah,
Gee,
apostrophe.
you're not dripping. What are you, white? Okay.
Sure. Why not? I mean, it's loose. It's a loose. It's a loose word. You can be like, I'm dripping. I'm dripping right now. I'm dripping in Louis. You could say that.
What's
Louis?
Louis?
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that one I knew.
Oh.
Dripping in Louis. I thought
I
it was
was with
Louis.
you.
All right,
I thought it
that's
was
all we
Louis
have
C.K.
for today.
I'm dripping in Kmart.
I'm dripping in Kmart. I'm dripping in
Dripping in
Goodwill. That was Cardi's line. I just repeated it for him.
I'm dripping
All
in
right.
35-year-old
All right, so
clothes.
We're out of
guys,
time.
listen to me. We are out of time, but thank you, Karsten, for coming and joining us. CarstenSpencer.com.
Thanks,
And
Cardi.
we love you. And guys, just don't drip or do drip, or I don't know, you're bae. And don't be a simp or simp me. And you know what? Yeet!
I love this so much for some reason. I just love this.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tooties.
When you're out to cock, a father doesn't recognize you. Find your joy. When you're spooning with a stranger and they won't let you kiss them. Find your joy. When your house reeks of weed and your kids hallucinating. Find your joy. Find your joy. When you're sick, you're dick and skimpy. When your dog likes Jiffy. Find your joy.
You've been listening to the What If Nothing's Wrong podcast with Heidi Haddad, LCSW, Nelsie Spencer, that's me, and Ronnie Whaley. Tweet us and join Heidi's weekly AMAs on Twitter at Heidi L. Haddad, or tweet the What If Nothing's Wrong podcast at WINW Pod. That's at WINW Pod on Twitter. You can also email us at whatifnothingswrong@gmail.com. The What If Nothing's Wrong podcast is produced and edited by the amazing Ronnie Whaley.